welcome back to Travel in Chinese. My name is Mark Rosewell, also known as Da Shan. Well, Huan Renhao and his family have settled into life in Beijing and started to travel around China as time and their work permits. In today's lesson, Xue Mei is traveling on a business trip to Shanghai. It's a very unique city with distinct architecture that reflects its unique history as well as its place in modern China as a financial and economic center. Xue Mei is quite enamored by the place. Let's go now to the dialogue and see just why.
你觉得这一张怎么样？
好啊，哎，很好看。
哎，小韩，等一等，我再照一张。怎么样？
不错，挺好。雪梅，你这么兴奋，是第一次来上海吧？
是啊，早就听说上海是东方的小巴黎，现在看来真是名不虚传啊。
哟，我发现你的汉语越说越地道了。
过奖过奖，你看，这里的房子真漂亮。
这就是有名的外滩公园，这些房子可有些年头了。
看起来这也是一个浪漫的地方。
晚上更浪漫，到处都是谈恋爱的人。
大早晨的，没想到这儿的人还挺多。
这儿什么时候人都挺多的，即使是冬天人也不少。
哦，是这样。哎，小韩，那是电视塔吧？上海电视塔叫什么名字来着？
东方明珠电视塔。有人说它就像是黄浦江上的一颗明珠。
劳驾，你能帮我拍张照吗？
你来吧，你的照相技术比我好。
好。Cheese。
谢谢。
别客气。
哎，你从哪来的？
美国。你是上海人吗？
怎么说呢，也是也不是。我出生在上海，后来去了外地，10多年没回上海了，现在是回老家看看。
那你觉得上海变化大吗？
变得太厉害了，哪儿是哪儿我都找不着了。你看，我原来就住那儿，那时候什么都没有，清一色的平房，从外滩看过去就是一个码头。
那你现在是浦东吧？
对啊，要是我啊，就一定去那里看看。昨天我去的时候都找不着我过去住的地方了。
有时间的话，我们一定去那里看看。
谢谢你们，再见。
再见。那我们先去浦东吧。
要不我们先吃点东西吧，我有点饿了。
我们吃什么呢？
咱们去尝尝上海的小吃怎么样？
那我们什么时候去浦东呢？
瞧你急的，吃完再说，一定陪你去还不行吗？
好。
Okay, now let's go back over the dialogue bit by bit. Xue Mei has 出差 gone for a business trip to Shanghai. Here, 差 refers to a job, a task. To 出差 is to go out on a trip or to get a job done, to travel on business. Now this character is also pronounced 差, but it has a different meaning then. 差不多, almost. 差5分钟10点, 5 minutes to 10 o'clock. Here though it's pronounced 差, 出差. Xue Mei has heard that Shanghai is a little Paris of the East, 东方的小巴黎. Actually, in terms of population, it's much larger than Paris. This reputation, however, comes from Shanghai's history as a rather free-spirited, very cosmopolitan city. 真是名不虚传. It seems that the reputation is well-deserved. 虚 is empty or false. 虚传 would be spread false news or false rumors. In this case, 名不虚传. Shanghai's reputation has not been falsely spread. It's deserved its reputation.
雪梅，你这么兴奋，是第一次来上海吧？
是啊，早就听说上海是东方的小巴黎，现在看来真是名不虚传啊。
哪儿是哪儿，我都找不着了。找不着 is to not be able to find something. You are searching 找 but not achieving your goal. 找不着。哪儿是哪儿 literally where is where. I can't tell where anywhere is anymore. Everything has changed so much. He points across the river. There used to be nothing there, he says. 清一色的平房. 清一色 means uniform, homogeneous, all the same. This expression actually comes from the game of mahjong and having all of your chips in the same color, like having the same suit in a deck of cards. 清一色的平房, nothing but single-story buildings. 平房 literally means flat rooms and refers to one-story buildings.
变得太厉害了，哪儿是哪儿我都找不着了。你看，我原来就住那儿， 那时候什么都没有，清一色的平房，从外滩看过去就是一个码头。
Xue Mei is eager to head across the river, but her colleague wants to try some of the snack foods in Shanghai first. Shanghai 小吃。瞧你急的. Look how anxious you are. We learned this in a previous lesson. 瞧 means the same thing as 看。瞧你急的。吃完再说. We'll talk about it after eating. 一定陪你去还不行吗? I'll definitely go with you. Okay already? We talked about this pattern in an earlier lesson as well. I'll do something. 还不行吗? This shows some exasperation. This time only in a joking manner. Okay, I'll go with you already. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's go back and watch that part again.
要不我们先吃点东西吧，我有点饿了。
我们吃什么呢？
咱们去尝尝上海的小吃怎么样？
那我们什么时候去浦东呢？
瞧你急的，吃完再说，一定陪你去还不行吗？
好。
Let's take a bit of a break in our lesson now to talk a little bit more about Shanghai. Shanghai is situated at the mouth of the Yangtze River, which is the largest river in China. It is the largest and perhaps most modern and cosmopolitan city in all of China. Originally, Shanghai was a seaside fishing village. Its gradual development over time led to it being granted county status in 1291 during the Yuan dynasty. This date is considered to be the founding of Shanghai. However, Shanghai really grew into a major city in China relatively recently, beginning in the 19th century. Today's Shanghai is a multicultural metropolis with both modern and traditional Chinese features. Shanghai is a major seaport, the largest base of industrial technology, and China's largest commercial and financial center. It's a very unique city in China. The Huangpu River divides Shanghai into two parts, east and west. Taking a cruise along the river is a great way to see a general view of the city, and cruises run every day, either just around the downtown area or further up and down the river. Whether in the daytime or at night, the views along the river are equally stunning. The older part of Shanghai is along the western bank of the Huangpu River. Here you'll find the Bund, Waitan, which runs along Zhongshan Road. This is the famous waterfront area known as a symbol of traditional Shanghai, although it's actually only 1,500 meters long. Along this strip are 52 buildings in various architectural styles, including Gothic, Baroque, and Romanesque. The Bund was the center of Shanghai's political, economic, and cultural life before liberation in 1949, and these buildings were largely built by foreign banks, businesses, and consulates, giving the area a very international feel. Today, this strip of buildings is preserved largely as it was 100 years ago, and a wide walkway along the waterfront is a popular destination for tourists and locals to take in the sights. Along the eastern shore of the Huangpu River, you'll find much more modern architecture and huge skyscrapers. This is the area called Pudong, literally east of the Pu or Huangpu River. The Oriental Pearl TV tower along the western bank is a symbol of modern Shanghai. Nearby is the Jinmao Tower, currently the tallest building in Shanghai. That is, until somebody builds one even taller. Now let's take a detailed look at some of the language points that we came across in today's dialogue. For example, 到处, everywhere. 处 literally means a place, so 到处 would be every place, everywhere. For example, 春城昆明到处开满鲜花. The city of Kunming is known as Chuncheng, the city of spring. So, in the city of spring, fresh flowers are blooming everywhere. 春城昆明到处开满鲜花.
看起来这也是一个浪漫的地方。
晚上更浪漫，到处都是谈恋爱的人。
Here's another language point. 没想到. You didn't expect, something was unexpected, or you never expected. For example, 真没想到在这儿碰到了老同学. I never expected that I would run into an old classmate here. 真没想到在这儿碰到了老同学. I never expected that I would run into an old classmate here.
大早晨的，没想到这儿的人还挺多。
这儿什么时候人都挺多的，即使是冬天人也不少。
哦，是这样。
Here's another language point. 清一色. As we explained before, this comes from the game of mahjong, showing that you have chips all in the same suit. Like when we're playing poker, to have the same deck of cards, the same suit of cards, whether it be hearts or clubs or diamonds or whatever, the same suit. It's used to describe something being uniform, all the same. For example, 这个酒店的服务员穿着清一色的中式服装. The staff in this hotel all wear the same kind of Chinese uniform. They're all dressed the same way, uniformly. 这个酒店的服务员穿着清一色的中式服装. The staff in this hotel are all uniformly dressed in the same Chinese style of clothing. Here's another example. 来这儿的人清一色的全是孩子. The people who come here are all children. They're uniformly children. 来这儿的人清一色的全是孩子. The people who come here are all children.
那你觉得上海变化大吗？
变得太厉害了，哪儿是哪儿我都找不着了。你看，我原来就住那儿，那时候什么都没有，清一色的平房，从外滩看过去就是一个码头。
那里现在是浦东吧？
对啊，要是我啊，就一定去那里看看。昨天我去的时候都找不着我过去住的地方了。
Now let's do a substitution exercise with a pattern that came up in today's dialogue. That is, 要是 something, 就 something else. If this, then that. It's the same as saying 如果 something, 就 something else. They're both if and then. For example, 你要是不来，我就去找你. If you don't come, I'll go and look for you. I'll go find you. 你要是不来，我就去找你. If you don't come, I'll go looking for you. We could also say, 你如果不来，我就去找你. If you don't come, I'll go and find you. Here's another example. 要是天气好，我们就去爬山. If the weather is good, we'll go climb the mountain. 要是天气好，我们就去爬山. If the weather is good, we'll go climb the mountain. Okay? Let's try some substitutions now with 要是 something, 就 something else.
要是我有100万美元就好了。
要是我有100万美元就好了。
要是我会说5门外语就好了。
要是我会说5门外语就好了。
Today we had a little bit of a look at Shanghai, especially Waitan. That's the Bund area, the waterfront along the Huangpujiang, the Huangpu River that runs through Shanghai. The far side of the river is known as Pudong, literally east of the Huangpu River. 即使在以前，上海也有很多高楼。Shanghai has always had tall buildings, even in the past. Of course, nowadays, the new buildings are getting taller and taller all the time, especially in that Pudong area. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but in the next lesson, we're going to learn a little bit more about Shanghai. So join us then. 再见。